So just as we saw Nikki Bella return this past Monday to promote the sequel to Evolution, the pay-per-view, and everything, a certain Hall of Famer that believes it should actually be a two-night event, and it's very interesting to see who it is. By the way, it might have to be a two-night event because we got so much talent, man. I mean, the roster's stacked. I mean, man, it's got to be at least 20 matches. Yeah, I'm loving it. I mean, like you said, we've been asking for this for a long time. I think the ladies deserve this. I don't think it's taken away from the shine from the guys to let the ladies go out there and have one night only. I think it's only fitting for the talent that we have on the roster just to show how big the women's division really is from a star power perspective. As far as how they could go out there and draw the house just like everybody else. It's not a contest between Raw and SmackDown. It's just a contest between the men and the women. I get it. I actually do, because I mean, they are, and like a Booker T himself, he's a fucking Hall of Famer. I mean, that's what it's always, especially when you talk about an industry like the WWE and just WWE and the industry itself, and overall, especially with a history like a WWE that goes, millennials back. I mean, yeah, you're supposed to, and you want more, if it's not just the company itself, but you yourself want to put over the next person, the next kid coming up on the block. Essentially, it's for the old wolf to help out, the fresh faced cub. And like I said, I completely understand that, and in this certain context, when you talk about when you talk about the women, because like I said, I've also kind of pretty much said, also for the longest, and how I've kind of tried to make it a notion that myself, that what, like, in all kinds of, like, I've always, I guess particularly if I want to bring up, specific, like, like the horror, like, movies and, the horror genre, where it's just, I mean, if I'm pretty sure some of y'all, if you know that kind of thing, but yeah, the horror genre and the final girls and everything, like, I've always had to, probably, like, prefer starting off, even though I've always had, of course, when talking about male character, but I've always, like, even since day one, like I said, one of my biggest heroes is my mother. I've always loved a woman, and I've always, like, pretty much been a supporter from day one. Like I say, even speaking in this context, I've always absolutely, put over, and always very much liked have woman characters, and I've always enjoyed. Like I said, even coming sort of like, like I said, it can be like I said, just like it's in any form of entertainment. That's just, yeah, especially growing up. Like, I've always had a lot, and I always loved women characters, and the counterpart. But it's like, it's laughable. But being at how, of course, the current landscape, and of course being attached to WWE, the current agenda, I mean, you have to. And it's like, it's just very weird to see that when speaking of Booker T, because especially lately, because I've always been, of course, when he's one of the ones that we actually thought you have to get over. You have to be entertaining. You have to have a character, and such a. When I, like, especially lately, what I've been seeing, where that's always what I hear coming from Booker T. It's like, then you, of course, because he does, yeah. I mean, he is a company guy. Like I said, I do want to, like, when it comes to that, because he does chill a little bit. He does get on his knees for and kind of go out of it, like, just unnecessarily go out of his way for WWE. Like I said, because that's where you get your paychecks. Yeah, like I said, you also just being a name, a veteran there in the history books. But like I said, I will say I get it, but at the same time, you can't be half and half and say bullshit like this. Not to mention also is, like I said, it's very much well known too. Like I said, the only reason why the women have the spot that they do is because of someone like a Ronda Rousey. But people wanted, of course, people want to ignore that, just because it was, not only was it, prior to she doesn't align. Not only wasn't she one of their favorites, but she pretty much didn't align with their ideals and shit like that. So. And like, let's say, so like, oh my gosh, like, and trying to like, cause it's like, let's say it's probably gonna be over the top, but it's let's say the first time around when we pretty much a known fact, like that Evolution did not do well at all. It was terrible, and I see now too, cause like that they tried how they desperately tried to cover it up. I don't know. I seen like kind of also too that I've caught that they tried to remove or change a little bit because of course AI and the internet and everything, and of course with WWE and their usual propaganda, how that they tried to change that WWE Evolution. What that of course like the all women's pay-per-view at that too. It was terrible. It did terrible. It performed terribly. Nobody gave an absolute fuck about it. And people can whine. You can whine and dine and all you can about that because I mean it's you can't. I mean if you don't want to face reality, then that's you. That's just like that's the reality of it. Nobody gave a fuck about about Evolution when it had first dawned it. And like I said, I mean, it's just it's just a simple case, man. It's like when you give the freaks a mile, they'll wind up and take everything. Cause now it's gonna be worse, and how they don't want it to be. And if like, because oh gosh, it's like I said, it's just like how everything now is back to where. Because, like I said, Triple H is now turning out how Triple H is not exactly the honeymoon is officially over. Yeah, I can say that. Yeah, pretty much. Even though you have your usual dick suckers, and people like I could pretty much say the honeymoon is over, and Triple H is losing a lot of morale, and probably starts people. Like I said, it all has to do with, especially when it comes to IWC, and not aligning and him not aligning up with their agenda, and as far as when it goes to that, because not necessarily, but like I said, like people are starting to be fed up with Triple H, and how and just how the current version of WWE is not working. It's like you come up with this bullshit of Evolution 2, and I really don't get why. I just it's completely unnecessary. It's besides the fact it's just like I'm sorry. It's just like with the WNBA. Who the fuck is gonna have a care in the world to watch this pay-per-view? Like who? Like honestly, tell me who. It's like I can prove like you don't want to hear it obviously, but I mean. Like because they want to be also like I said it's just another thing also about just having a cake and eat it too. Being completely fucking ignorant, and just it's all about a gotcha moment. But when you see women too, like Cora Jade and like the former NXT women, and some of the former when they were at NXT, like a Cora Jade and them getting on OnlyFans. Basic, like I said, because that's what OnlyFans is, pretty much online prostitution. And regardless, especially you women out there, that actually agree with that and support that, it's whatever you want to look at it. It's it's online. I'm pretty sure they know that too, even though that they'll probably try to put a delusional spin on it. It's online prostitution, and that. With the former NXT woman in like a Cora Jade joining OnlyFans should tell you that. To tell you. Like nobody I said, especially as of currently, woman dumb woman wrestlers being able to draw. Are we fucking kidding here? like, do I need to say it again? Like Corey J, like I said, some of the NXT that were just released. It wouldn't surprise me if Dakota Kai and whoever start to hop on, have an OnlyFans, are getting ready to prostitute their bodies. If they're not straight up doing corn, regardless if they're not straight up doing corn or anything, whether it's softcore porn or pretty much that, like they like this is what's going on, and they still want to be able to control the narrative about when it comes to women's wrestling and how they and what they actually contribute. When we know, like when we already know. So let's stop it. And it's like, oh my gosh, and you have Booker T here getting on and really trying to, like, it's like, push out this nonsense. It's ridiculous. Like, like, can we, like, really, like, please, like, tell me you didn't just say that. Tell me you did not just say that.